This episode is produced and made possible with the help of Raycast Media.
Si le gustaría escuchar un episodio en español, por favor escuche el siguiente episodio.
Good morning, everyone. My name is David Fuentes, and I'm part of the Incubadora podcast team. I'm the Community and Development Coordinator over at EGBI, and so I work a lot with the community, getting you all information like this podcast. And so this podcast exists as part of the Economic Growth Business Incubator, a local nonprofit with the mission of providing training, coaching, and support to existing and aspiring business owners. So this podcast is born out of the need to put in video and audio a lot of the information and success stories that we see here at the Business Incubator. And we also want it to be a resource for y'all and provide y'all the opportunity to ask frequently asked questions. And we provide material in the form of this podcast. So we want to do it so that you are able to succeed in your own time and at your own pace, as long as you have access to a mobile device. But before we begin, this episode is produced with the help of Raycast Media. Today, you're seeing a different format, and that's all with the support of Raycast Media, who has helped us with creating this vision and also developing it. So thank you, Raycast Media, for your support here at EGBI. Now, today, I want to introduce one of our business coaches. You've had the opportunity to know me right through these podcasts, but I want you to meet the people who really are doing the groundwork in our team and are working directly with our clients to help and expand their businesses. Today, we're joined by our expert coach, Hector Muñiz, who is here to share their invaluable insights and experiences. Business coaching isn't just about achieving goals. It's about unlocking untapped potential, overcoming hurdles, and also paving the way for success. And so we want you to join us as we explore kind of the power of business coaching, where we'll uncover strategies, some success stories, and also some practical advice to empower y'all on your entrepreneurial journey. And so get ready to be inspired a little bit about the stories that Hector is going to share, and also be ready to be equipped with the tools you need to thrive in the competitive business landscape here in Austin. But before we get started, let me tell you a little bit about Hector. So I've known Hector for a little bit now, but I want to read to you his story so that you get a better understanding of who he is before we get started. Hector graduated from the University of Texas at Austin with a bachelor's degree in economics and a minor in business. His most recent previous experience includes working as a financial advisor at UBS Financial Services, where he focused on sales and enhancing client experiences. Additionally, Hector has notable experience as an ESL instructor, where he taught older students computer and networking basics in a bilingual setting. Through his various roles, Hector discovered a genuine passion for financial guidance, sales, and tutoring. And also what I've learned about Hector is that he loves serving his community. So he's provided a good quote for us to understand who he is. No matter the task at hand, I strive to prioritize people's needs and exceed their expectations. And that's coming from Hector. Outside of work, Hector dedicates his time to studying, reading, drawing, and maintaining an active lifestyle by hitting the gym. His favorite sports include soccer and boxing, which I didn't know. So with that, I want to give a warm welcome to Hector. Thank you very much for being here with me, Hector, and I'm excited to get started with this interview.
Yeah, me too, and thanks for having me, David.
Yeah, no, and we've known each other for quite some time. I think we've been able to share these stories with one another, and it's been good to hear directly from you. But now we want to share it also with our clients and with our community. And so, Hector, in case I missed anything in your bio, is there anything else that you'd like to say? Maybe tell a little bit about how you became a coach here at EGBI?
Yeah, no, you hit it spot on. But so I did graduate from the University of Texas here at Austin.
Awesome.
After school, I decided to stay here. All my life, I always liked being involved in the community.
Yeah.
So, through ESL, through one-on-one tutoring with people, doing community service, I've always liked to be a part of the community and be a resource to people.
Yeah.
So when I heard about EGBI, this was a team for me. I decided to be a part of it, and I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, no, we've been very lucky with you, right? I think your background in finance, you've become kind of the finance guy here at EGBI, and I've heard you in your coaching meetings talking to your clients about the importance of having the finances together. But then I really like that you're able to touch on different spots besides that, right? Like general strategy, their business plan. And even I've heard you talk about marketing. So, this is an opportunity for everyone else to get to know you. So thank you for sharing your story a little bit. But with that, the reason we want you to have you here is so that our community can understand the benefits of having a business coach. And so, Hector, based on your coaching, what are some key benefits that you feel business coaching offers, especially to small business owners?
Yeah, to small business owners, I think a lot of them, they wear a lot of hats. So marketing,
Yep.
bookkeeping, just running the business in general. So
Yeah.
business coaching, it helps people have, outside eyes, take a look into the business, kind of give their own thoughts, keep them accountable, I would say, too, with business coaching. Sometimes a lot of people get overwhelmed. They don't feel seen. So just having that outside voice kind of comment on things and keep you accountable with your goals.
Yeah.
And just help with developing the business, I would say, is the biggest benefit of coaching.
Yeah. And I think that accountability part really, really helps, right? Because when you're so busy, when you have a family, sometimes when you're even working a full-time job and you're starting your business, that can be something hard. Like we keep other people accountable, but sometimes we don't keep ourselves accountable. And that's what I've seen from a lot of clients who want, that accountability and someone to help them set their goals. So
Exactly.
I'm sure you see that a lot. Now, over your time here, you've also had the chance to see success stories, right? And these are the feel-good moments that you work for, that you show up every day for. So can you share some stories of some clients, or maybe just like basic success stories about some businesses that you help in your time here?
Yeah, of course. So I would say a lot of clients that I serve, they have service-based businesses. The first one that came to mind is this guy that has a pool cleaning business that he wanted to start, but he just didn't know how to formalize it. Yeah. So he was good at knowing how to clean pools, and he was passionate about it. But now it's talking to me and seeing how, how do we make this happen? So in that situation, it was just going through how to formalize the business and then how to make it official, how to reach out to clients. And working with him, it's kind of exciting hearing the successes each week. Usually we work once a week, and initially it's like, okay, let's work on your business plan. How do you want to market to people? How do you want to do this? How do you want to do that? And then next week it's like, hey, I was able to register my LLC. Yeah. It's like, oh, perfect. And so now how do we start working on that logo? And it's like, okay, next week, hey, I was able to get my logo going. It's like, perfect. Now let's start with the clients, let's start making this a thing. And it's like, hey, I got my first client through a family, through a friend. After that, it's like, hey, my week is getting pretty busy, so I may not be able to have a coaching session this week. Yeah. But hey, I love to hear that, you're starting to get busy with your business. Yeah. And I haven't talked to him in the last 2 weeks, but that's a good thing, right? Yeah. Because it means that, everything is going smoothly. Yeah, there's hiccups here and there, but it's an upward trend.
Yeah, no, and I think that's the beauty of working with a client in the long term is you see the ups, then you see a barrier and you work together through the barrier. And it's useful, right? I think sometimes business gets lonely. At least that's something that I've heard from our clients a lot. And so to have this community, also, if you get to know Hector, he's a really positive guy. And so like, he's always smiles. He comes in with a smile. He comes with a good attitude. And sometimes at the end of the day, that's just what you need, right? Are those smiles. But then of course, like, I think the feel good story of like, yeah, now you have your business plan, you can move on to your next steps. I feel like you're also very good at identifying pain points, which, can feel, that's a good starting point for anything, right? Like, what are your pain points? So let's work on it. Thank you for sharing that story. And this next question is somewhat related to that, right? It's, what are some common challenges that small business owners face? And how does your business coaching, how do your one-on-ones work to address these challenges?
Yeah, so, going back on what I said earlier about business coaches, business owners wearing a lot of hats. Yep. Sometimes they get overwhelmed. The reason why they start a business is because they have a passion for something, and they want to provide that value to people. Yeah. Now, the biggest challenge, I would say, is because they wear a lot of different hats, sometimes they get overwhelmed. So the passion is there, but they get overwhelmed and then eventually the business closes. So it's how do we stop that? It's like, okay, let's take it one step at a time. So there's this book I'm reading called Essentialism, where it says that people, they divert their energy to different aspects in life. And when you're concerned about so many different things, your energy is going all over the place, and they cannot, put all their energy into one thing. So it's just about taking it one step at a time. So that's what business coaching is, identifying those pain points, and then just taking it, okay, let's start with this. Let's devote all our energy into that. And now let's work on this after this. Right? And that's what I would say is the biggest challenge. Apart from that, it's just formalizing the business, seeing what resources are out there. And connecting people to those resources.
No, I think you definitely are a connector, right? And so our clients are experts at what they do, but I think when you are a business owner and you have to wear these many hats, like you put it, some things, right, are a little bit harder for us than a little bit harder than other things, right? So maybe doing the actual labor is where we specialize, but then the administrative aspect is where you might need that support. And so, Hector is a resource. In the next episode, you'll also see Paul. You'll meet some of our other coaches. But yes, now that we're getting to know you a little bit, it's good to understand these common challenges because it helps us work as generalists with people in different industries, right? So Hector, how do you tailor your coaching approach? Every client has their unique need, right? And they face unique barriers. And they have different experiences and different backgrounds. So how do you tailor your coaching approach to meet the needs of each client?
So for each client, like any other person out there, they're all different. So sometimes I'll meet with someone for the first time and I notice that, they're talking really fast and they're super excited about something. So maybe there could be some anxiety behind those words and the speed at which they're talking. So it's just about, matching their speed, but also letting them know that I see them. Because, sometimes if you're talking slow, for example, and I'm talking super fast, I don't want to overwhelm you, and vice versa. What else? What was the question? Okay.
So how do you tailor your coaching approach to each client?
So apart from that, also, I would say, because everyone is different, you want to see their needs. So if one person only needs resources, or if one person only needs to formalize the business, it's letting them know what's there and how to help. Also, sometimes people just want to feel seen. The biggest thing about coaching is just airing out those thoughts, those concerns, those challenges that the business is going through. The business is like a human being. So like a human being, it has its challenges, its ups and downs, and the business coach, or the business owner, is the parent, right, of the business, or the business is the child. So sometimes they just need to air out those thoughts and just talking to them. Eventually everything sorts out. So just tailoring to each person, I would say, airing everything out and then seeing how to be that resource.
And I think that's what kind of makes us differ from other business incubators. A lot of business incubators here in Austin tend to focus more on like startups. But I feel the clients that we work with really are kind of like the backbone of our economy, right? This is their average day person who has worked 5 years in an industry and now they want to do their own business, right? So I think meeting people where they're at is very important, right? Especially when we have folks who are working like full time, right? When they're taking care of their families, we have to meet them where they're at. And some people come in, with a limited understanding of how they can use technology to help them automate some things. And those are the tools that you connect them with, right? So I think we are very good with our clients at meeting them where they're at, but also like going at their own pace. So that was kind of the point of me asking that question, and why I think you're such a good fit with a lot of our clients and why they love you is because you're patient, but you're also a connector. So now, Hector, what strategies do you use to help our clients set and achieve their business goals?
Strategies to help achieve their business goals.
And also set the goals.
And to set the goals. Going back to that book that I mentioned, Essentialism,
Uh-huh.
it's about taking it one step at a time. So, maybe if you want 10 clients, it's okay, well, how do we get that first one?
Mm-hmm.
So make that the goal, right?
Yeah.
Once we get that first client, it's like, okay, how do we get 5 now? And then from 5, it's like, okay, how do we get 10? So it's about making SMART goals, specific, measurable,
Mm-hmm.
attainable, realistic, and time-based.
Mm-hmm.
SMART, SMART.
Mm-hmm.
So, just making those goals, no matter what it is, whether it be client, money related, time related, it's just how do we make it realistic, attainable, time-based,
Mm-hmm.
and then putting all our energy into that goal. So, again, taking one step at a time,
Mm-hmm.
eventually you get to the goal or the end line.
Okay. So when you're working with clients, is that something that you set from the beginning? Is like, do you ask them for their goals or?
Yeah. And, when I'm doing business coaching, I would say most of the time, I first and foremost want to hear their thoughts, their concerns.
Yeah.
And then it's about setting goals. And then
Mm-hmm.
before the coaching session ends or for the next one, it's okay, how are we going to start getting to those goals, or how do we start achieving those goals? And that's the heart of coaching, right?
Yeah.
It's about having that second person kind of help you put those thoughts and square them into something, and then,
The accountability, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Keeping them accountable.
Okay.
And as a business owner, not all the time can you stay accountable because there's so many things going on. But it's about, working with them and letting them know that, hey, I'm here for you. Maybe we can have a working session together.
Yeah.
So rather than having homework, it's like, okay, well, then let's work on this together next time.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's, continuing with those goals.
Yeah. No, and I think that's important, right? Like those working sessions. I think like with anything, whether you're working in like legal or like you're working on your marketing, the primary thing that you have to work on is like the relationship. Like you have to trust your coach, right? And I feel like that really helps is right when you're working towards a common goal. Like you want your client to succeed, so you want them to reach their goals. And working hand in hand with someone, you develop a really good relationship, right? And you start. At first, the first sessions, it's just kind of identifying those pain points, and afterward, it's working towards them. And so, yeah, I think that building that relationship helps you work towards that goal. So we're getting down to the end of our time, but I want to give you the chance to kind of have one key takeaway from this episode for our clients. So what is the key point you'd like our community to take away from today?
The key point I would like our community to take away today is that most of the business owners that I talk with, they are passionate about what they're doing. So whether it be a product or a service, when I'm talking to them for the first time, they're telling me like, hey, I have this cleaning business and I'm different than everyone else because I'm using these eco-friendly products.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have a great customer service. I'm a small business, so I can pivot really easily compared to these big businesses. And then I'm like, okay. And we'll start developing their business plan. And it's like, how do we start to market this business? And they're like, I don't know. Or they'll start getting shy. Even though in the beginning, they'll tell me like their passion and I see it. And I would like people to let that passion sell itself. It's about providing a service. It's not about selling something. So when you tell people with that passion what you're selling or how you're providing value, that is the biggest piece of marketing ever, because it's like seeing their genuine passion for it. And that's, to me, that's the best way to sell something. But once we get to that selling point, they don't know how. Even though they just did it beautifully to me. It's just about realizing that you're not selling something, you're providing value. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Our clients are a solution to problems that people are having, right? Whether it's at cleaning, right? Or whether it's, in the food industry, you're providing a solution for your client. Be proud of that solution that you're providing. All right. And last but not least, Hector, how can we set up a coaching appointment with you?
The easiest and fastest way to set up a coaching appointment with me would be to go to our website, egbi.org, filling out our intake form. And then from there, once we essentially know what the business is, or if you don't have a business yet, that's when I'll contact you through email or through phone. just kind of have a little intake call, see where things currently are. And then from there, we can schedule a coaching session.
Yeah. Yeah. And then another resource for you is by always calling our office. Our phone number is 512-928-2594. Or you can email us at hello@egbi.org, right? Sometimes we're on the run. So if we don't answer a phone call, you can always reach us through email, and I promise you someone will get back to you. Well, friends, that's all for today. It's been a complete pleasure chatting with you, Hector, and we hope that you find this episode useful to you. If you know someone who could benefit from listening to this episode, please share the link with them. And remember that La Incubadora podcast is part of the Business Incubator, a nonprofit that provides training, coaching, and support to small business owners here in Central Texas. And so if you would like to learn more about EGBI services, please visit egbi.org. And we are very thankful for you and for you, Hector, for being a part of this episode, and for you, our community members who make everything we make possible. So thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you, Hector.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.